Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to the channel UA Insider. So today we're gonna take a look at the recent updates from Ukraine. As we all know, the Kursk offensive pretty much took over the news site, so let's go straight into it. So there's a bunch of maps showing different things. I'm just gonna utilize the one from Institute of Study of War. As we can see over here, all this blue area pretty much covered by Ukrainians, either taken by Ukrainians or somehow Ukrainians are pushing in those directions. Now, it is important to say that these maps are not accurate as far as recent advancement, since Ukraine is keeping pretty close lid on what they want to share, and pretty much nothing's coming out of Ukraine. So all these updates that we are having is gathered from public sources, and a lot of them are actually coming from Russian channels on Telegram. Without further ado, let's jump right into it and see what we have for right now. One of the most recent updates that we just seen comes from this channel right here, and it says that the village of Slobodka Ivanovka west of Kursk came under full Ukrainian control. So if we go back to Google Maps, we can see that village is actually right here, pretty far away from where the main action we assume is taking place, which is going to be somewhere around this area. So very far west on the border of Ukraine. Here is the border. But what's important about this one is there's this main highway E38, and obviously it leads to Rulsk and then Lvov, and then obviously all the way to Kursk. So if Ukrainians are indeed taking control of villages in this area, it is probably safe to say that they will try to push up to this highway and move east, taking all this territory. Because as we know, there's one vector of attack that's pushing towards Koronevo, and we already seen Ukrainian strikes in this area of Rulsk when they destroyed Russian convoy with equipment and troops. So moving along, what we have today, some good news for Ukraine. As we can see right here, Department of Defense of the United States announced another aid package for Ukraine, 125 million. And what's included in this package is Stinger missiles, ammunitions for HIMARS, 155 millimeter shells and 105, some radars and javelins and stuff like this. So this package right here pretty much is significant because it represents what Ukraine might need to keep going with their attack in Kursk. I don't think this is accidental, and as always, these announcements usually come after the aid is already either on the border of Ukraine or already been transferred to Ukraine, and they're just kind of announcing it. So moving on from that, next post right here is we are having some reports that there is an air raid sirens going off in Russia, and this one right here, let's take a look at this video. There's not much showing, but we can see that some air defenses are firing on probably what we assume drones. So where this is located is very close to Moscow, and the reports are of what we know right now is that those drones are flying into this airfield right here. So this one located is only about 30 kilometers away from Moscow. If we go northeast, and there's a bunch of reports coming out, nothing confirmed yet. I guess we'll get more information tomorrow. However, that's what we got right here. And as we can see this post right here, they said that Chakalovsky Air Base near Moscow under attack, home of IL-80 Russia's doomsday planes that Putin would be on if nuclear war broke out. I guess he will need to find another ride. So we assume that this is the home base for these airplanes. As I said, not much information available at this point, so we'll wait till tomorrow to get more clarification. I'm sure if these strikes are successful, Ukrainians are going to post some updates on it. So moving on to the next piece of information that we have, this is very recent updates that just came out on 9 p.m. local time in Ukraine. So this is the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. As we can see, a large stack of black smoke coming out of one of the cooling towers over there. And what we can see right here is looks like a fire. So we don't know what's going on there. And on this post right here, we have a little video, so let's watch it first. As you can see, yeah, it does look like a fire over there, and large amount of smoke just coming out of the stack right there. So if we read this post right here, it says the following statement has been released by Russians immediately after the fire started. So then we go into the post that they released, and it says, today at about 2100, Ukraine armed forces militants attacked the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant using kamikaze drone. So as we can see right here, immediately this goes into the Russian propaganda saying the Ukrainians attacked the power plant with their drones. But this just doesn't make any sense for Ukrainians to do it. So let's just stay with this post and read into a little further. So it says, according to preliminary data, the drone with which the Ukrainian armed forces militants struck the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant was launched from the city of Nikopol in Dnipropetrovsk region, located on the right bank of Dnieper River and under control of Zelensky regime. So as I said, as we can see right here immediately, this is the Russian propaganda. So what I would assume happened here, and I seen a couple other posts, is that Russians actually put used tires inside the stack right here and lit them on fire as a provocation to Ukrainian operations in Kursk. I'm not sure what the response they want to get from this or how this would help them in Kursk, but as we can see, this is a typical Russian stint that they do. Sometimes they bomb their own cities, sometimes they kill their own soldiers, and sometimes they light up shit on fire inside the nuclear power plant. So hopefully there is no significant damage, and hopefully this is just a provocation. Based on this post, that's what we can assume at this point. We'll keep an eye on this and follow up a little later once we get more information. Moving on to the next post, as we can see here, as Ukrainians advancing in Kursk region, they keep taking more and more Russian soldiers, or I should say Russian soldiers are surrendering in large numbers. So as we can see, there's a bunch of guys right here on the floor, and Ukrainians are probably searching them and getting them ready to ship out. What's significant that I would like to point out here, obviously we can see Ukrainians all geared up and tanks right here, and they're ready to go. But look at the faces of these guys. It looks like a bunch of them are just very young guys, especially like this guy right here. Obviously, he's not very tall, but from this angle, it looks like he's very, very young. So we can assume that these are just Russian conscripts. And as we can see, their uniform is mismatched. This guy got camo. This guy's got some other stuff on. These guys are kind of wearing whatever they had. So we can see the Russian defense lines were not prepared there, and this kind of explains why so many of them are surrendering. They don't see the point of losing their life for no reason. And then this next video right here kind of shows us more of the same thing, and we can see how Ukrainians are loading these Russian soldiers up in transportation vehicle. As you can see, they're not being beaten. They simply have their hands tied. They're going to this transportation vehicle, and they're probably going to be transferred to Ukrainian territory and later exchanged for Ukrainian soldiers. We know this is a Ukrainian vehicle, and as we can see right here, this is the symbol the Ukrainian military uses for this attack in Kursk. So that's that. Let's go ahead and move on into the last segment of the video, and I would like to end this on a good note. So let me find it. Oh yes, here we go. So since today was the last day of the Olympics, I thought this was kind of funny, and let me read you the post. So right here it says "Поздравляю," means congratulations, and the post says, as of 2024 Paris Olympics come to a close, we should congratulate Russia for accumulating a record number of lead medals despite being banned from participating in the events or traveling to almost all of the free world. So as we can see right here, they made a little meme, and we see the Russia medal count, lead, 590,000. I think it's kind of telling about the state of Russia right here, as they decide to choose war and they decide to take normal freedoms from their citizens and limit to what they do and send them to the front lines to die for absolutely no reason. So hopefully Ukraine keeps pushing in Kursk. Hopefully they will be able to take as much land as possible, which will force Russia to come to the negotiation table, and we can look into the ending this war in near future. That's all I have for you for today. We're gonna keep you updated with the latest developments. We'll see what's going on tomorrow. Hit like and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you, and Slava Ukraini!